this is Jake Kerr and welcome back to Blind Faith. This week I'd like to talk about asking God for help, but not asking God to do everything for you. When we're working on everyday life, we have a tendency to go, God, please make this work. Please help me get money. Please help me get this. Please help me get that. And it's good to ask, please help me, because helping me is important. Because if you ask God, please, God, get me this, get me that, it's not going to happen. Because, if you just think that God will do it for you, it's not going to happen, because God wants you to learn what it's like to get that. Nothing good in life comes without work. Nothing good in life comes without some sort of labor or money or love. I mean, love's never ending, and I say it's the most important currency, but right now as a world, we do not recognize love as currency, so I guess I probably shouldn't be counting it, but you look at even my guide dog Raven I've got here. She's great, but I had to go to Michigan and work for 19 days to get her trained away from home and stuff. Like every good thing in life requires some sort of sacrifice, requires something for you to either A, give up, or B, put into it that's more difficult. And without these sacrifices, we're not going to get anywhere. And we just have to remember that kind of like this joke I've like telling. There's a person that goes, God, please help me win the lottery, and they don't win. They're all disappointed. They go, God, please help me win the lottery. They don't win again. They go, God, please help me win the lottery. And God goes, hey, you need to work with me a little bit. At least buy a lottery ticket if you want to win. And it's kind of like that. God could do everything for us, but then we would feel entitled. We would feel like we deserved more. So he's willing to help us with stuff, but he's not going to make it so there's no bumps in the road. He's not going to make it so it's just a smooth road sailing. He's not going to make the lake just perfectly glass smooth in front of us, or the river with no rocks or ripples. It's going to have some bumps, some ripples, some rocks. What God helps us with is smoothing those out a little bit. He makes sure there's no rough edges, nothing that we can truly get hurt on. That if we ask him, he's willing to basically take a sander to it and sand it down. He's willing to take the very rough edges off. But if we didn't hit any bumps, then we would just think that life was always like a smooth river, like a relaxing river, and we'd never be ready for anything bad to happen, never be prepared. So then if something ever bad happened to us, which God can prevent it all, but at the same time, this is not God's kingdom, so not everything's going to be prevented. And when you hit bumps, even the smallest bump would knock you out of your canoe or whatever. And so, while we're going through hard times, especially now with the coronavirus and as final weeks approach for college students, and final projects and final weeks approach for high schoolers, another month, and all that, we just have to keep in mind that nothing good comes free, because everything requires some sort of cost. Even as a child, you look at, as a child, your parents still worked for it. As a parent, you work for your child's thing, so technically it comes free to the child, but later in life it kind of pays back, and the next thing you know, you might be helping your parents a little bit more or whatever, as you're the adult. So you just have to remember to pass God's love down the line, because if someone helps us, remember to try helping others, because there's a song called The Chain of Love, and I always say that love's a chain, but it's also a circle, because if you start love and push it off and share it with the next person, and each person shares with one person, eventually that love's going to reach back to you. That's how it should work. Actually, the way it should work, it should be more like a web that you share to 10 people. Those 10 people share it back to 10 people else, and you might have several connections that eventually that love comes back to you once or twice or 3 times rapidly. And every time you get one good deed, you do 10 more. And if we all did that, this world would end up being a really good place, because everyone would be helping everyone else. Everyone would be loving everyone else. And, nothing good comes free. But at the same time, this would be a community ran off love. This is God's picture. This is how God would want us to live, because He wants us to love everyone. Treat others how you want to be treated. Love one another. Love your neighbor. Well, if we all love our neighbors, everyone has a neighbor no matter how many miles away. I live in the country, so technically my neighbors are farther away. But if I love my neighbors, they love their neighbors, and just keep going. Eventually you'll hit an ocean, but if that person on the edge of the ocean loves their neighbor across the ocean, eventually it's a circle and comes back to you. And not only does it come back to you, it also makes it so everybody loves everyone else, and there'd be no war, no starvation, no violence. So, message for this week is love one another. Try to help one another in these hard times. And just remember that nothing free comes without some sort of sacrifice, some sort of work. Because nothing free is good, really. And nothing good is free. Even if you're walking down the road and you look to the side and you see a couch sitting on the side of the road, you could grab that couch and go, hey, it's free. Maybe it's good, but likely not. Likely there's some reason it was sitting on the side of the road. And there's some reason why someone else didn't want it, and likely you won't want it either, because it was free, and it shows nothing good is free. But at the same time, if we can make it so good deeds come with the reward of love, that since we love someone, we do a good deed for them, and then they love the next person, they love us too, and they love the next person. It'll just keep reflecting back and forth. And I just think it's an important picture that we have to keep in our minds, and we have to try to come true. We have to try to make come true, there we go. Especially in these hard times. We need to love one another, and make sure that we're helping one another and trying to assist one another. You look at my guide dog Raven. She guides me, and it's not like she asks questions like if I wake her up in the middle of the night, tell her I need to go somewhere, it's not like she's gonna be like, it's the middle of the night, I can't bring you. I mean, she hates evening nighttime, so I try not to get her up. If there would be an emergency that I'd have to get her up, she would get up willingly and work. And I think we need to get used to, as a society, as a community, as Christians, we have to get used to helping one another at any time of the day or night, any day of the week, any holiday. If your neighbor calls you and asks for help, we need to make sure that we're helping. This is Jake Kruger. Thanks for watching Blind Faith. Remember to love one another. See you all next week.